So, in the course of learning how to do life right, I've learned a few things, and it is my intention to pass those things on. For whatever they may be worth, going to be sharing with you not necessarily the way to do things, but a way to do things. Not necessarily the truth, but what I am learning as truth for myself. And what I'd like to talk about is what is most important to you. And there's one easy way to find out. Now, regardless of what it is that you hold most dear in your heart, whatever it is that you hold most dear in your head, it is whatever it is the most important thing to you, you're going to find is different than what you're thinking, because it's whatever you spend the most time on, whatever you spend the most time thinking about, whatever you spend the most time doing, that's what's most important to you. And at times it can be very surprising, because oftentimes we spend most of our thoughts worrying. So what that would mean is the most important thing to you is worry. You might find that you feel as though one thing is most important, but you're actually devoting your time to other things. One of the things that I've found true for myself is, in the course of trying to get all of the less important stuff done so I can concentrate on the most important thing, I end up getting caught up in the details of the less important things and never really paying attention to the actually important things. And it's a struggle to step back, assess what you're doing, and compare that to your priority list, readjust, you review your plan and change it, and because it's so easy to get off track. But getting off track is okay as long as you're double checking. And my favorite comparison is the navigation system when they went to the moon. They had their course, but they were constantly off course and just correcting. So on the way to the moon and back to Earth, they had a very narrow window of placement in order to make sure they just didn't fly off into space to be lost forever. And the reality of the fact is they were almost never on course for that. They were off by a little and then correcting, and then off by a little. So when they were off, they had to be off again to correct back to where they're supposed to be. So here's the line, and they're going like this the whole time. So the fact that you get off course is okay as long as you're constantly correcting. So, and it doesn't matter how many times you get off course, just correct one more time, then you've gotten off course and you'll be okay. So my suggestion to you, and the thing that I hope that you take away from this, is that it's very easy to get caught up in things that are unimportant, and you have to constantly double check to see where you're spending your time, where you're spending your thoughts, because that in reality is what's the most important thing to you. And if those two things don't agree, what you feel is important and what you're spending your most time on, if they're not the same, then you need to fix that. So thanks for listening, and that's my thought for the day on how to do life right.